Hi, I'm here to talk to you today about 5 young adult books that you should be looking forward to reading this month. And they're all released this month in the UK, but it will differ depending on what country you're from. I'm going to link them all on the book depository site, which delivers worldwide, I know, so you can go buy them from there. The first book is Glow, and it is the first book in the Sky Chasers series by Amy Kathleen Ryan. It's a dystopian romance, and it was released on the 7th of October 2011. It's basically about 2 characters called Waverly and Kieran, and they're the first 2 children born in space. 16 years later, on the day Kieran proposes to Waverly, the Allies attack and they're separated in the cruelest way possible. If I was to compare it to any book that has been kind of released this year, that I've read this year, it would be Across the Universe by Beth Revis, because I think that they're similar in that sort of genre. And the second book is Angel Fire, and it is by L.A. Weatherly. This is the second book in the Angel series, and it's a romance paranormal coming-of-age novel, and it was released on the 1st of October 2011. I'm not going to say too much about this book because you might not have read the first one, which is Angel, if you're interested. The protagonist is Willow, and she is 17, I think. It's basically her involvement in angel society, I guess, the angels that are existing on this world, and the angels are bad, and it's basically a continuation of the first book, so if you want to go check out the first book, then I'll link that below as well. The third book is Revolution by Jennifer Donnelly. This is a historical coming-of-age novel with aspects of real life too. It was released on the 3rd of October, but this is a paperback version of the book, so the hardback was released either last Christmas or in January. I think it was last Christmas because I got it for Christmas, and I read it in January, and it was an absolutely fantastic book. It's basically about this girl called Andy who is struggling with the death of her brother. Her father takes her away to France to get over it, and makes her mother go into a kind of a mental care hospital. Andy becomes entangled in a mystery of the French Revolution, and I personally am not a history geek. I gave up history 3 years ago, I think, in school, so I haven't done history for a long time, and I found this book very, very enjoyable and very interesting, so it's pretty much a book for everybody. The fourth book I want to talk about is The Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater, a fantasy romance dystopian, released on the 19th of October. Any Maggie Stiefvater fan will be looking forward to this book because we all know what a fantastic writer she is. This book is about 2 characters called Sean and Puck. Puck is the first girl to ever enter the Scorpio Races, which are basically kind of like the sort of Hunger Games idea of survival, and you have to ride your I think it's a water horse. Sorry if I'm wrong. And Sean is a returning champion, and Puck goes into these races not knowing what to expect and realises she really isn't prepared for it, and it's basically kind of that journey, so it will have some sort of coming of age aspects in there as well. The 5th and final book that is released this month is released on the 27th of October. It is Muse by Rebecca Lim. It's the 3rd book in the Mercy series, and it is a fantasy paranormal romance. This series is really, really good. I've read the first book, and the second book is on my to-be-read shelf right now. So I didn't look up the synopsis for the 3rd book because I didn't want to give it anything away from me reading the second book. It's got the angel theme, and it's about a kind of a girl who is an angel, and she's stuck on Earth, and she returns as someone different each time, and from what I can remember of reading it at the beginning of this year, it was absolutely beautifully written and very, very good, so I highly recommend that series. These are all UK releases, so the dates may be different for the US, but all I know is I'm very much looking forward to reading them.